Hey everybody, it's Ramona Remisat here. How's it going? You just caught me coming home right after my intense interval workout. So you get me in my sweats and luckily you can't smell through this, so you're good. Anyhow, I wanted to pop in here. I know it's been about a week, I guess, and I kind of missed Takeaway Tip Tuesday. I had some out of town guests visiting. So I'm a couple of days late, but I wanted to jump in here and share with you because of something very timely. Our dear old friend is back. It is Mercury retrograde. And some of you may be like already, putting hand to head and thinking, oh gosh, it's here again. Others of you don't know what the heck that is and what that even means, so I'm going to just share with you. But really, this is about 5 excellent things you can do when Mercury goes retrograde, because the tendency out there is for people to look at it with lots of doom and gloom and be like, oh, great, it's Mercury retrograde, everything's going to go haywire. Hey, Nicole, I just got off a workout, so you're getting me in my sweats here. Sharing about 5 excellent things you can do when Mercury goes retrograde. So if you're just joining in, again, I'm Ramona Remisat. I'm an intuitive mindset coach and help women, coaches, entrepreneurs, and consultants with mindset and really getting themselves in the right frame of mind. Oh, thank you. I have my after workout glow. I haven't worked out in over a month because of my shoulder injury, so this is going to be the test to see, what happens now. Hopefully, I'm not, all lame by tomorrow, not able to move this arm. Anyway, getting back to Mercury retrograde. So if you're new to this concept, you never heard of it before, you might be sitting there looking at me like I have 3 heads. What that is simply a period of about 3 weeks that happens 3 to 4 times a year when the planet Mercury appears to slow down, stop, and spin in the other direction. That's not actually what happens, but from our Earth vantage point, that's kind of what it looks like. And because Mercury is the planet that rules all kinds of communication, during that 3-week period that Mercury is retrograde is when we typically see higher than normal incidences of things like computers crashing, miscommunications, travel plans going awry. So it really affects anything to do with commerce, with computers, with phones, with travel, transportation of all kinds. So, knowledge is power, right? Knowing that in advance is a good thing. But like I said, there are still some people who go into this period all doom and gloom, and they kind of like have this self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Remember, guys, mindset, right? What you think about, you bring about. So if you're convinced that your computer's going to die right in the middle of you, after you've written 30 pages of something important, guess what? You're kind of putting that out there. So rather than going into Mercury retrograde with that mindset, I want to talk about 5 things that you can do that are really great to do during retrograde. So it's not the time to typically start new stuff, sign contracts, that kind of thing, but it's a great time to check things out. So during a retrograde is a great time to do some research. Do your homework, do your due diligence, check into things that, might be related to a project that you want to do or a goal that you have. So, rework things and really check things out. So that's the first thing that you can do when Mercury goes retro. The other thing is what I call feel the love. This is a time to reconnect. So reach out to past friends, to colleagues, to, if you dare, former lovers, and, reconnect. So maybe you haven't talked to somebody for a long, long time and just life gets in the way and you get busy. And, this might be a great time because who knows, it might be the perfect timing right now that they might be able to connect you with your ideal client or a great opportunity, that kind of thing. So if somebody especially has been on your mind, then definitely this is the time to pick up the phone and give them a call or send them a text or something like that. The other thing you want to do, as I said, it does have a higher than normal rate of things going a little bit crazy. So, hey, Deb, welcome. The third thing you can do when Mercury goes retro is back it up. You know, if you haven't backed up important data for a while, stored important documents, then this is the time you may want to think about that. And trust me, you will thank me later, you know, really. And we don't think about this stuff until the inevitable happens and we lose stuff. And honestly, I had a scare probably a couple of months ago. Right there. Sorry, guys. I guess I popped out there for a bit. Hey, Deb, you know, if you haven't backed stuff up, just do it, because it happened to me where I thought I lost a bunch of stuff and it aged me like in the span of 24 hours. I felt like I aged about 10 years. So you don't want to do that. Okay. Now, the other cool thing in Mercury retrograde is it's almost like your own time machine. It allows you to go back in time and have a do-over. So retrograde, think anything that starts with RE. I have a whole list here. Rethink, redo, rewrite, rebuild, reevaluate, reconsider, revise, repair. You get the gist, right? So that's your time now to kind of go back in time, if you will, and have that do-over and redo or revisit or re-strategize. Hardly, Deb, but I'm sure you don't need a total do-over. Maybe minor tweaking. That's all, just tweaking. But yeah, so retrograde's a perfect time for that, you know, because we kind of always forward focus. We don't really give ourselves the space and time to go back and think of doing things. Okay, a mini do-over. All right, I'll give you that. We can all use that sometimes. And the last thing that I want to mention about what you could do in Mercury retrograde, or what you might want to be aware of in Mercury retrograde, is that Mercury is a real trickster, likes to play hide and seek. So you may find that during Mercury retrograde, you find your long lost, I don't know, earring that you thought was gone forever, or another piece of jewelry or something that you thought was gone, and all of a sudden it's like right in front of your face. So that's a cool thing about retrograde. But then the flip side of that is keep a sharp eye on your wallet, on your keys, important documents, because there is a tendency for that stuff to kind of go, you know, AWOL during a retrograde. So just be aware of that. If you're traveling during retrograde, definitely bring printed copies of all your travel confirmations, flight confirmation numbers, all of that stuff. Don't rely on having it in your phone. So have a paper backup, like as my kids would say, as we did in the olden days. Right? So always have that with you when you're traveling during a retrograde, and keeping an eye on all, knowing where those important papers are. So just a quick recap. I guess that's maybe what you might be saying during a retrograde. But yeah, again, don't go into this with the doom and gloom mindset that something is going to go haywire, right? What you think about, you bring about. Remember that. So instead, think about how you can harness the energy of it, right? So one was check things out, do your research, look at more in depth at something, do your due diligence. This is a great time for that sort of stuff. The next one is feel the love, reconnect with colleagues and friends. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to do a joint venture with somebody. Tell them what you've got going on, because they could be great referral partners for you, right? And make sure they know what your, 6 to 8 word elevator invitation is, so that when they're at a networking event or something and they might be in a conversation and somebody's looking for somebody that you offer that service, then your friend can say, oh, you need to talk to Deb, or you need to talk to Nicole, because she helps, and fill in the blank with what exactly it is that person does. So let them know what you're doing. Reconnect. The other one, back it up. Like I said, there is a tendency for things to go a little nutty, especially as far as electronics and technology is concerned. So do yourself a favor, back things up, go back and have that do-over, rethink, revisit, re-strategize, all of those RE words. That's a great time now to do that. You've got 3 weeks, and keep your eye open. You might find a long-lost item or lose something. So again, just be extra cautious. And especially if you're out traveling, know where all of your stuff is. Don't get up and leave a bag sitting down somewhere and, walk away from it. So, knowledge is power. Like I said, just being aware of what could go wrong, but don't dwell on it. Don't get sucked into that whole vortex of despair, right? So hope you guys found this helpful. Enjoy your retrograde. You know, post below. Let me know what your plans are. What are you going to do with this retrograde? How are you going to harness it? What are you going to do to make the most of it? And next week, I'm hoping I will be back with the real Takeaway Tip Tuesday. We are a couple days late here, like I said, because I had out-of-town guests and things were just a little bit out of my normal schedule. But next Tuesday, my kids go back to school. And I will get back into a more normal routine. So fingers crossed. And like I said in my last video, let me know. Thanks, Deb. I'm glad that that was helpful. Let me know, guys, what you would like to see in my Takeaway Tip Tuesday videos. I would really love to tailor these to you and not just put out stuff that I think you should know. So anything where you struggle when it comes to, you know, money stories that might be hanging you up, things like, you know, how to get over the self-doubt, you know, the negative mind chatter that we all have going on. Maybe you're struggling with things like procrastination or perfectionism, and you're just like, how do I get out of that spiral? Maybe you don't know how to even get clear on what it is that you're really supposed to be doing. I know I've talked to quite a few people recently, and they're hitting some roadblocks. And then, of course, the mind gets in the way and starts to tell them things like, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I'm not on my purpose. Maybe I don't even know what that is. And So if you're struggling with that and that's something you would like some help with, let me know as well. Yeah, and anything else that you can think of related to, you know, mindset stuff and how to really harness your intuition so that you can go further, faster, right? Yeah, all the P's. Perfectionism, procrastination. What else do we have in there that's a P? I don't know. My brain is fried after this workout. I was saying, Deb, this is me in my post-workout get up here. But you're lucky because you can't, you don't get the aroma of, you know, what that is. So I will spare you with that. Anyway, guys, I hope that was helpful. Enjoy. Like I said, post if you have an idea that you would love to see me chat about. And I hope you'll tune in next week for Takeaway Tip Tuesday. And thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. I will be back next week. Thanks.